Yeah, the New Age movement is there's like Western esotericism on one side, and then you have people will get into Eastern mysticism and go and they'll like Muji, Sadhguru, they'll go and become Hare Krishna, like the people who give out flowers at the airport, or they'll, Osho, people loved Osho, but now he's dead, and some of his followers have things, You have Advaita Vedanta, you have Vaishnavism, you have Shaivism, as far as I know, isn't big in the West, but it's dynamite. And then Buddhism, of course, and there's like a few different forms of Buddhism, and then you have witchcraft on this other side, which was very much influenced by Aleister Crowley, but it was probably a thing before, I guess, to some extent. I don't know, probably not actually, in the sense that a very idiosyncratic thing of system of witchcraft is out now. I suppose people did their own thing before that even. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. In between all of that is like the New Age, as far as I see. Like, you've got a lot of people doing channeling. Channeling is probably the big one. Like, when I think of New Age, I'm mostly thinking, and when I say New Age, I'm mostly talking about like New Age channeling movement, New Age like UFO movement, anticipating the spaceships coming to pick us up, or things like that. Like the Starseed community. I actually am interested in the Starseed stuff, but I kind of look at it from a different perspective than like some of the things I've seen on YouTube. Like, I saw this one channel, Astral Legends. Like, some stuff, one thing that bothers me with the New Age movement is people say, oh, take what resonates. The thing is, something can feel resonant because there's an egregore behind it. There's a spirit behind it. And so when you hear the thing, the spirit is working on you. And most people do not have defenses for these kinds of things. So to me, that's why I think astral projection, building defenses of yourself. I would even dare say maybe ceremonial magic is a basic need, because, like, I've seen before where a spirit can go and just manipulate people like marionettes. And if you don't have protection from that, you don't know what resonates, to be honest. Like, I mean, maybe some people just have it in the cards for them to be deluded. I've seen that in astrology. I mean, I think everything should be taken with a grain of salt, or, reasoned through, and work out your faith with fear and trembling, for sure. The Bible says a few wise things, I guess. But so I am actually a little bit troubled by the New Age. Some of the, okay, maybe it's certainly not a monolithic single movement. There's kind of a lot of different things going on. That's very true. There's some things I really like. There's people that are they're doing prana, they're doing kriya, they're doing all these awesome things, and they're just killing it as an individual worker in these things. And there's some people that are just, okay, I'm going to channel, but even when they're done channeling, they act a little bit like the being because they've been changed by the being. That's why a lot of times in the ceremonial magic, you put a magic circle around yourself and you put the being outside of yourself, to protect yourself. That's kind of what the point is in Goetia, of why you have the circle around yourself. The triangle and everything. So I see a lot of that kind of like bad practice. I see a lot of bad practice in the so-called New Age movement. But like I said, I also see a lot of good practice. Like Barbara Marciniak even is basically what you would call New Age person. And, from what I've heard about her, I mean, basically she got she was recommended to me by what's his name? My favorite astrologer, Kapil Raj, and this dude's a heavy hitter in my mind, and he's really taught me a lot about astrology, which takes knowledge about other things as well, And yeah, I watched her channel in a video, and I think probably she's really channeling something and looking into her work. I'll read Bringers of the Dawn eventually, but I felt led to read it eventually, and I'm reading a backlog of things I felt led to read, But when I said led to read, I know the spirit that wanted me to read it, and I know to some extent why. It's not like, oh, for some reason I felt led to by the universe. The universe is a wild beast. It's a machine that reacts to intention. It's not. You know what I mean? See, this is what I'm talking about. If you're feeling some feeling that's alien to you, it's coming from something particular. Like I say, I'll even say this. I'll even say, the universe wants me to do this, but I know there's something else behind it. You know what I mean? I know that there's something particular behind it. And it's just a lot of times these beings, they will or won't show themselves to you. Everything is a spirit, be in the spirit. Like Paul says that all the time, paraphrasing. This is what it means, attach yourself to the spirits, to our spirit, not their spirit, our spirit, and then you won't be led astray. Test the spirits, that's what this means, and this is what really bothers me in the New Age movement, is that I think I don't see this care, but sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes if you've been connected to a spirit for lifetimes, maybe that care and those processes were already there from before. But see, this is another thing, is there needs to be that bridge for people that don't have that. This is where you can fall really far if you fail, So I feel very troubled by a lot of the things I see, but like I said, once again, there's also great things. There's people that are killing it. Maybe just fall on what they feel, and I can look at what they're doing and interpret it based on what I've learned. But ultimately, yeah, it's a mixed bag, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not like, just to say New Age, I'm not like, New Age, but I would say anything that happened before the 1940s, or the 1950s, actually, anything that happened before 1950, I think is inclassifiable as New Age. I think anything that happened before the UFO sort of movement beginning, I think is not New Age. Saying that anything that comes after Enoch especially is New Age, I think we're stretching the word a lot on that. Unless I'm really severely mistaken about where the term New Age comes from. I'm under the impression that it's a recent term about a fairly recent phenomenon.